depends how much we skip. Yes, I know. I should be careful, especially talking to who's the fucking thing. Anyway, ask Hijikata if we can help around the compound is the correct answer. I don't remember if we've done this. Hold on. I don't have memory. Let's go back. Everything odd appears. I looked down into the bucket full of water and my face stared back, sporting a boy's haircut. I shot my cleaner rag into the water and the image disappeared behind 1,000 tiny ripples. I really don't remember this scene. I hope I'm doing this right.
おや、どうかしたかい、雪村くん。疲れたなら部屋に戻って休むといい。お湯がもうすぐ沸くと思うから、温かいお茶を持って行ってあげよ
う。Oh, no, I'm fine. Besides, I told you I wanted to help.
すまんな。何分男女体のせいか、うちの連中は不精なものが多くてね。助かるよ。
He smiled and squeezed his washcloth into the bucket. Though I was embarrassed to say it out loud, Inoue wore a pleasing smile that suited him well.
私の顔に何かついているかい?
Oh, no, nothing. I'm honestly just happy to contribute to the house. Almost on cue, one of the soldiers appeared and called Inoue's name.
井上さん、山崎さんが呼んでましたよ。巡察日程について話があるとか。
ああ、そういえばうちの組は来月の担当日がまだ決まっていなかったね。ではすまないけれど、少し待つよう山崎くんに言ってくれないかい？もう少しで雑巾掛けが終わるから。
Well, Inoue, I can handle the rest on my own. We're almost done anyway, and I know where the cleaning supplies go.
雪村くんがそう言うなら、そうさせてもらおうかね。
He wiped his hands and stood up, but before he left, Inoue bent over me and whispered,
もしあんたの事情を知らない大使が来たら、すぐ部屋に入りなさい。面倒なことになりかねないからね。
As Inoue left, I went back to cleaning the floor. Any passerby would likely avoid me, but more trouble was the last thing I needed. It wouldn't hurt to be extra careful. I was pushing myself to work faster when...
なんだ?
Heisuke, what are you doing with that sake?
ああ、いや。外に酒でも飲みに行くかどうか考えてたとこなんだけどさ。それより、お前こそ何やってんの？部屋から出てもいいのかよ。
I received approval of Hijikata-san and Inoue. I don't have anything to do, so I asked him if I could help clean the floor.
雑巾がけって、お前まさか自分からやるって言い出したのか？物好きなやつだな。俺ならきっと頼まれたってやらねえぞ。面倒だし。
面倒だし。Really?
そうだよ。変わってんなお前。
He laughed, but his eyes were still thin and sharp, like he was watching carefully for me to make a mistake or slip and reveal some hidden truth. He might have resembled a kid, but Heisuke had a maturity and swagger that eased any doubts one may have had about him being a Shinsengumi captain.
でさ、なんでわざわざ雑用なんてしてんの？頑張れば処遇が良くなったり、俺たちから信用されると思ってるとか？
Damn, he just straight up asks us, alright.
だとしたらそりゃ思い違いだって。黙って部屋にいた方がいいんじゃねえの？
No, that's not it at all. wanted to do something. You know, I came to Kyoto to look for my father. All I've done so far is sit around and wait. Doing nothing all day is eating up any hope I have, forcing me to run thoughts over and over again.
その悪いなんつうかまずいこと聞いちまったよな俺ほらこの酒あるから泣きやめって悪いこと忘れるには酒がいいって言うし
Heisuke! He shoved the bottle out toward me. Thank you. I'm kind of in the middle of cleaning, though. I don't really think I should drink right now.
そっかわかったじゃあ俺一人で飲むとすっかな
He slumped against the wall and wallowed in a boyish display of self-pity, drinking by himself. We have to drink with him! Come on! Heisuke, don't tell me you're going to drink here.
大丈夫だってこれくらいで酔うわけないから
That's not really what I meant. His display reminded me that even the most mature of us were prone to such boorish moments. However, it really wasn't my place to judge him. Hold on. There we go.
なんだよじゃあどういうことだって
わかりませんか雪村くんは昼から酒を飲んで東堂くんが怒られないかと心配してくれているんですよ
Hey, Sanan-san! Oh, Sanan-san. Hello. He glanced over at me but said nothing. Before, he may have greeted me, but now...
それより東堂くん鬼の副長が君を探していましたよ
土方さんからの呼び出しなんか嫌な予感が
おそらく君の予想通りでしょうね諦めて絞られてきなさい
仕方ね行ってくるとすっかあそうだ
ん
いや三男さんがいてくれりゃ平気かお前も頑張れよ
Thanks? He awkwardly shrugged and headed away. It was worrisome, though. His saunter was weighted by a defeated slump. Sanan-san, what did Hijikata-san want to talk to him about?
ああ東堂くんはお叱りを受けに行くんですよ今日は土方くんの虫の居所が悪いようでしてね
Did you just send him into a death trap, Sanan? Oh no. Did he do something?
ええここのところ大使がたるんでいるようでその筆頭として普段よく遊び歩いている東堂くんが目をつけられたというわけです
Yeah, you just sent him into the lion's den.
まあ大使への見せしめの意味も込めて数日間の謹慎処分といったところでしょうか
Really? That seems a little harsh.
ほうでは今まさに酒を飲もうとしていた人間をどうかばえと
I can't. I can't.
東堂くんたち3人は普段から遊び歩いていますしねいい薬でしょう
Three of them. So we're talking about the Baka trio then. Did Hijikata call Nagakura? How did they do? Yeah, we are talking about the Baka trio.
いえあの2人は今は留守のようですまあ 戻ってきたら同様の処分が下されるはずですが。
Ha! Oh. His words were followed by a long, stiff silence. I felt like I had to say something, so I spoke up. I don't usually see Heisuke all alone like that. Most of the times he's with Nagakura or Harada.
それはきっと君のことが気になったからでしょうね。
But he just turned away and walked. Worries? About me? Had he been worried I might do something? Was he just keeping an eye on me? Sanan-san's suggestion implied there was more than he was letting on, but I couldn't quite place it. After all, he was surprised to find me outside my room, so he wasn't there to supervise me. Maybe he came to see how I was doing. Later that night, warm under my covers, my mind fluttered busily, preventing me from resting. Heisuke was later sentenced to house arrest. I was also informed that his food portions were to be decreased, so he wasn't present at dinner. He must be getting really hungry. The more I thought about Heisuke, though, the more worried I became. What was it he said?
いや、三男さんがいてくれりゃ平気か。お前も頑張れよ。
As I played the words back in my head, I grew more and more convinced that he had been worried about me and came to check up on me. I was essentially confined to my room, and I could only speak to certain people. Was he so worried that he was willing to keep me company when all the others were out? Alright, that's it. I've made up my mind. I rolled over, stood up, and grabbed my jacket. I tiptoed down the hallway until I reached the room where Heisuke was being kept. After checking for any nearby patrollers, I whispered as loud as I dared. Heisuke?
この声、ひょっとして。
Ah, I need to tell you something. Is that okay?
いいかなってお前、いいわけないだろう。勝手に部屋を抜け出して謹慎中の大使を訪ねるなんて誰かに見つかったら。
I hear footsteps.
おい、さっさと中入れ。
Before I could even react, his door flew open and an arm shot out to pull me inside. I was still trying to figure out what was going on when he threw a blanket over me. What?
いいからそれかぶってじっと隠れてろ。
I wasn't sure if he could see it, but I nodded. We waited in breathless silence for the footsteps to move past before I finally poked out my head. Heisuke frowned over my head, watching silently.
何してんのさお前。土方さんとかに見つかったらどうする気だったんだよ。俺に用なら伝言を頼むとか、謹慎が解けるまで待つとか、いろいろ方法があるだろう。
Sorry, but this couldn't wait. I can deal with the consequences, though. I was worried. I think it's the correct answer. Yeah, it's worried. I was worried about you, Heisuke.
俺のことが。
You came to visit me this afternoon because you were worried about me, right? Well, I'm just doing the same thing. I was just worried you might be sad or something, or maybe hungry.
謹慎って言うならお前だって同じようなもんだし。
Well, I guess you have a point.
よく考えなくてもそうだろう。たくそんな状況なのに人の心配するって呆れたっつうかお人よしっつうか。
I'm sorry. I didn't have a response, so we sat in silence.
でもその気持ちは嬉しいけどな。
He smiled.
で、さっき今じゃないとダメだよって言ってたけど、何の用事で俺のところまで来たんだよ。
Oh, right. Good. It didn't get squished. I opened the wrapping to show him what I brought, and Heisuke's eyes lit up.
握り飯。
Well, they're leftovers from dinner.
これのためにわざわざ危ない橋渡ってここまで来たのか？
Well, yeah, I thought you might be hungry. For several long moments, he just stared at it. Was he really so perplexed? Over a rice ball?
お前がせっかく俺のために作ってくれたものなんだよな。食べないでお前を追い返してもここに来た事実が消えるわけじゃねえし。それに
His face broke into a wide smile.
何よりすげえ腹減ったし。
As he spoke, he reached out, plucked the rice ball from my hand, and bit off a piece.
うわ、うまっ、すっげえうまい。これ何入ってんだよ。
He displayed a great talent in taking large bites while still speaking full sentences. Heisuke! Is it really that good? I mean, it's just salt and pickled plums.
そっか。でもこんなうまい握り飯今まで食ったことないかも。
Really? Well, I'm glad you like it. He ate ravenously as if he'd never eaten a meal in his entire life. He couldn't contain himself. I had a feeling it had less to do with my cooking skills and more attributed to him being starved, but I still felt guilty for not putting in more effort. In no time at all, he'd finished it off and was licking straight grains of rice from his fingers. He thanked me for the food, then made me promise never to do it again before I left his room. His fire-eyed expression from when I'd given him the rice bowl made me giggle as I walked to my room.
Oi.
Ah, fuck. I know that voice. Fuck. I froze. The voice came from around the corner, out of sight. Of course. Ah.
おいお前、そんなところで何してやがる。
The fuck is grand in this case. Ichikata-san.
質問に答えろ。ここで何をしてた？
His eyes pressed against me like a pair of icy rods. I swallowed and hid the rice ball wrapper behind me. No. What could I say? Anything I said could possibly implicate Heisuke. Unfortunately, it seemed like Ichikata already knew whose room I visited.
大使だったら切腹もんだ。
Ah! His vengeful scowl appeared like a demon in the darkness.
さっさと寝ろ。二度と余計なことするんじゃねえぞ。
Of course, I'm so sorry. I ran from my room as fast as I could. My heart pounded as I clambered back into bed. That was way too close. He let me go this time, but I saw in his eyes that I'd been in serious trouble if he caught me again. that I'd be in serious trouble. Oh my god. I crawled deeper under the covers and desperately tried to think about something else. I couldn't deny that I crossed the line. But even after that terrifying encounter with Hijikata-san, I couldn't regret it. I didn't regret it. Ugh. I hadn't been able to do much, but it seemed to have really cheered him up. It was the first glimmer of hope refracting onto me since coming to the Shinsengumi compound.